wonder, how far will I have to go in this one direction before there's an alternative? We can tell you that when you are not connected to us, your spirit guides and angels, it's like driving on a one-way street your entire life. You don't see the alternatives. How can you get off this wheel that just keeps spinning one way? It takes a few minutes each day for you to connect with us before you go out and start doing things the same old way. If it's that simple, why don't more people do this? It's because they are frozen and locked into the same way of thinking and doing things. All right, Ray, so let's talk about this. Who do we have with us tonight, Ray?
Veronica and Maureen. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Nice to have you with us.
And Ray Holly.
Yeah.
He's over here and he's over here.
He is. I know
Two
he
places
is.
at once.
All right.
What's that called?
Multitasking.
Multidimensional.
Multidimensional. That's where you're at in many places at the same time.
That's it.
But you have to be conscious in order to catch that, right?
Okay.
All right. We'll get into that another time.
All right. When I saw this Linda's Weekly Guided Insight this morning in my email, I had a flashback to when I was growing up.
And be sure to send us your questions. Put them on the feed, you guys, about this as we move through it. Okay.
Okay. I grew up in a smaller big city. I mean, outside a small big city, Toledo, Ohio. And in my little town, the suburb, we didn't have one-way streets. Okay. And if we did, I wouldn't imagine you'd run into anybody going the other way anyhow.
There's not that many people.
Not that many people.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but when I was 16, got my driver's license and drove downtown the first time myself, every other street was a one-way street going the other way. And I'd never encountered that before driving. So naturally, I just turned wherever I wanted to turn. And
just like you always have.
Just like I always have.
Right.
For my lots of weeks of driving experience. Okay. Now.
New driver.
So the first time I did it, and you're not thinking when you turn.
You're on automatic.
You kind of blanked out and just turned.
Right.
You just went that way. And maybe even followed somebody the wrong way. But all of a sudden, all these cars are coming toward you, and
you
did something wrong, or else they did something wrong.
Here's the key. Here's the metaphor. You know that you're going the wrong way.
The wrong way.
Okay, that's the metaphor here. That's the point to this.
Right.
Or going by just going the same way, the one-way street, going the same way all the time, you're never going to be connected, because being connected is a two-way street, right? It's like a one-way street is like just being in this world and thinking that this is all there is in this lifetime, instead of bringing your real self back into the picture, incorporating that and becoming one and having that connection to your guidance. Okay, that is a two-way street. Okay, you're connected. You are connected to yourself, your true self, and you are connected to your guidance. You bring all that back and bring that together. Go ahead, Ray.
Well, all of a sudden, when you see all these cars coming towards you, you kind of snap back into the present moment, right?
Reality strikes.
Reality strikes you right in the face.
Right.
And now you have to make a split decision. What do? There's cars coming in this lane towards you. There's cars coming in this lane. Everything's working against you in life here. Okay?
And okay, it's about how you handle that situation too. Go ahead, Ray.
I mean, do you stop and try to back up real fast, or do you head for one curb or the other, and then block off one lane while you turn around, everybody's honking?
Oh yeah, you can expect it.
That's what I did. I headed toward the one curb, turned around.
Right. Exactly, as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Right. They saw him, but nowadays what we run into, crazy stuff. Freeway, one-way drivers.
Every day.
Go in the wrong direction.
Now here we are in a big city, 4 million people, and every day on the
It's
news,
around, it's everybody experiences this. No matter what city you're in, you hear about it all the time when we never heard about that before.
at all.
Okay, there's something that's shouting at humanity regarding this issue about going the wrong way. And now humanity's not just on one of these little inner city, towns with one-way streets, and some are two-way streets, and sometimes you go the wrong way and maybe you're going 35 miles an hour. This is 70 miles an hour. Okay?
Or more.
Where you can't, how could you possibly not notice that you're going the wrong way? Off ramp right on to the highway the wrong way. I mean, you got to go out of your way to actually pull that off.
Mhm.
So we're going to have, because that's such a, that is a massive shout out from the spirit guides, from the universe to humanity, really shouting something out at us. We need to we're going to have the guides talk to us about that because it's massive. I mean, I could come up with some ideas about it and feelings and metaphors, but nobody's better than these guys about what's going on with that. All right. And here they go.
This is symbolic of humanity going the wrong way too fast. And what situation their life is in before they make that wrong turn. Many are just oblivious to what's going on in their life. They're on autopilot and doing the same thing every day. They don't take time to take a look at their surroundings. They can't be in the moment and aware. They're just in a trance that keeps them moving, but they don't know where they're going.
Wow. Okay, so that's a generality about this point, about the one-way street, about going the wrong way. People are going the wrong way, and they're going the wrong way fast. Okay, so what that means is they're moving so fast that they miss the guidance, that they miss what's really going on. They're not paying attention. They're like in a mental stupor of doing the same thing, just dragging themselves back through another day without being really connected, without being connected.
Yeah, and most of them
They're so disconnected, you guys. And this is a human problem going on right now where people are in overload. They're overloaded. So they just find themselves going, oh my God, just let me get through the day. I'll just do this and I'll do that. And it gets me through the day and then I'm done. Okay. They're so overwhelmed. Okay.
And when they do catch them, finally, when they catch them going the wrong way, most of them are impaired by alcohol or drugs. I mean, these are things that they took long before they turned the wrong way to tune their life out.
To calm the pain,
right,
and the anxiety that they're feeling from life. Okay. So they're not taking the time. What they really, really need to do is breathe. Get back in their bodies. Get present. Stop panicking. Stop chasing all this stuff. That's what's doing it. They're chasing all this stuff. I got to do this. Got to get the kids. I got to make more money. We've got to, get that vacation ready. We've got to, they're way overwhelmed. All right. So that's not going to help. That's not working.
Plus, they're missing all the signs. It's gotten so bad here in Phoenix. They got signs up. You're going the wrong way.
They do. They have these things that you cross and lights go off, to get your attention. That's radical.
And they still don't stop. they're not present.
They're not present
They're not paying attention.
at all. Okay, you know, when I take the journal, my guided journey, and I help you guys work through this, this is about learning to become conscious, is what this is. Paying attention to what really happened in your life. Reclaiming yourself, the true you, and bringing it back into the picture, all right? The people who are going the wrong way and they're making these massive wrong way turns onto 70-mile-an-hour highways and crazy stuff. They're only in this world, but they're numb in it. They can't, they're suffering in it so badly that they're making these massive wrong way decisions. Okay, they're so disconnected. They feel so disconnected that they're doing extreme things now. That's what that is. It's letting humanity know, you guys, stop it already. Slow down. Connect. It's a two-way street. Bring yourself back into the picture and let us help you. That's your spirit guides and angels. Let us guide you. Listen. Write it down. Slow down. Nothing is more important than getting the guidance and having that to go from, to guide you. When you can connect with the guidance, you guys, you are connected. There's no possible way you can receive guidance when you're disconnected. It's not possible. There's no way to connect with the guidance when you are disconnected. Okay? So you instantly know, one moment you are, one moment you're not. You know, it kind of goes like that until you are more connected most of the time than you're not.
Do you think it's possible that people get comfortable just driving on a one-way street, knowing that they're not going to run into everything? Everybody's going that way. Must be okay.
That they're more comfortable?
Yeah, everybody's going this one way. And I'm
well,
going that
here's
way.
what's coming to me right now, Ray. Guidance coming through. What they're saying is, it's not that they're more comfortable, it's that they don't know how not to be numb.
There you go. They're all numb going
They're
that
numb.
way.
They're numb. If they're not numb from drugs and alcohol or whatever, you know, they're numb from being in this world and not being engaged, not being connected, not doing anything that matters for them. Not having something that they do where they can't wait to get back at that and do that again, or help those people, or be of service to others. Do something that makes this world a better place. Something that matters, that makes them feel like they matter in this world. A reason for them to be here, their purpose. That's what's doing it. Actually, it's a good thing. I'm going to look at the high side of this. It's a good thing because it's in our faces now, you guys. You know, you can't keep running like you do, chasing things like you do, and grabbing and wanting and needing and, you know, and panicking and just being in this world. This is not working for anyone. I don't know if you guys saw this recently, but there's a guy that was he a quarterback, the 29-year-old that he walked off the field and stopped.
Yeah, he said, I can't do this anymore.
He said, I can't do it anymore. In his prime, this team that just took, I'm not a sports person, but I heard about it, but this football team that just hired him with...
No, he played for a while.
Oh, with
many
them.
seasons.
He was the number one guy.
He was their starting quarterback.
He was the one.
Yeah.
Okay, and he was so beat up and getting injured all the time and, you know, going the wrong way, you know, trying to fit in, trying to make this work. He's like the guy driving down the freeway 70 miles an hour going the wrong way. He stopped the car, so to speak. I'm using it as a metaphor. And he got out of the car and said, I'm not doing this anymore. Everybody was mad at him. All the fans are like, oh my God, season's just starting. And our star what?
Quarterback.
Quarterback walked off the job.
Quit.
Nobody ever did that before. This guy being just in this world, trying to please that, trying to live in just that, he couldn't take it anymore. He quit right on the field, right on the field.
Yeah, it's like,
He walked off and he says, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
yeah,
That's what many people, you're going to see many people doing because they've been pushed so hard. Even you may have been pushed so hard.
hey. Well, here we go. We have one of our fans, Kimberly.
Kimberly,
I loved seeing you and Ray in the conference on Saturday. Very cool.
we loved having you,
Yeah.
even though you were on the live stream. That was the coolest, Kimberly.
Okay, and she's trying to slow down and
Yeah.
listen more. It's getting easier to listen. Yeah, why don't you take that 15 minutes a day to stop,
God,
write in your journal, ask your guides questions.
have that, I want to call it what it is. Having that meeting with your spirit guides and angels for just that 15 minutes.
every day.
Every day, yes, without the phone ringing and distractions, just you in the moment with them. Awesome.
You know, I know you've said it before, but why is that 15 minutes every day important when you look back?
Okay, the reason it's important, and I know that you guys, most of you have read Guided or listened to Guided. It's important because it's like connecting the dots. Okay, this happened. You write it in part 3 of your journal. It's a journal entry. It will never get lost like that, and you date it. The next time it happens, whatever unusual or out of the ordinary happened that day, write it down in part 3. That's what this is for. And at the end of just 1 month, you're going to be able to review what you wrote, what you review day after day after day, and see how it becomes a story. You see the way it's connected. Otherwise, all you're going to see is you're going to see an entry a month ago, an entry 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, and missed all the ones in between, that really show you the whole picture. Okay, you guys, when we're in this world and we're living it, the moment you experience it, you write it down. You're not going to see what it is. You will not. Once in a great while, you will. But you won't see it until you see how they're connected, interconnected, day after day in these 15-minute meetings with your spirit guides, communicating with them on Ask the Universal channel, and or the entries that you posted in your part 3 of My Guided Journey that show you the what do you call it when it's one episode after another, the sequence,
An episode, the series.
The series. This is your life. It's a story that all of a sudden you look back at it and review it and you go, oh my God, I see it now. I see what they've been showing me. Had I not written it down, I would have missed it all. Now I see right where I need to go.
I found stuff when we were moving. I found journals and notebooks I had that I wrote things in those about 2 months before we met. And I will go back and I read it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what happened.
I know. And you did that just before we met.
Right, within 2 months or more, or less.
Ray was being encouraged by his guides. And Ray, being sensitive like he is, and he is very intuitive, he followed that guidance. He didn't have people around. You had quiet time. You had
I had a lot of
quiet
quiet time.
And that was the blessing. See, when you take and you give yourself the quiet time for just 15 minutes a day, I will tell you that after you do this and you see the results from doing it, when you review what you wrote, when you do that, you're going to get a little bit more invested in this, and your 15 minutes will turn into a half hour. It'll go by so quick, and you will not want to miss it. And you will know if you missed it one day, you will feel like something is missing, okay? Like that's more important than all this other stuff. Okay, you can fit it in. Go ahead, Ray.
Okay, Kimberly says, yep, she's trying to slow down and listen more. Anime says she's been on the wrong road, and she's now trying to slow down and listen more. And Kimberly said to Anime, that's pretty hard, isn't it? When we're so used to moving in the fast-paced world. And, oh, Kimberly says our background's making her dizzy.
Good. It's testing you, Kimberly.
It looks like oranges and what? Avocados and limes?
Yeah. It's awesome.
In this tunnel. Yeah.
Awesome. You know what it is? It's the connection. It's the connection. There's that side and this side. It's the connection. Okay?
Yep, they're kind of flowing together.
Yeah.
Right? And Anime says, yep, seems I'm always running somewhere. That's the problem with our culture. Maureen.
When you have, I want to say one thing to Anime. Anime, when you have kids, it doesn't matter what age they are, they get you on that fast track, and they just expect you to keep doing it.
To keep up.
And as they get older, let me tell you something. You need to inform them. Hey, the mom thing, where I just ran around like a rat in a cage, taking care of everything, making sure everybody's taken care of, those days are over. You need to let them know that's done. I'm back to getting back to myself so I can get my sanity back. You guys will even like me better. For sure, I will like me better. But you guys have made me neurotic. I got to cool this down. So I'm putting you on notice. If you expect me to perform in all the ways I've done before, find your own ride. Okay? Take yourself to the game. I mean, you can pull back some. You deserve it.
Except Anime's son. He needs to keep sending those free tickets to the hockey game for the front row.
Don't forget that.
And Maureen says, it's also about hearing the negative self-thoughts and those of others that keep getting in the way of our path.
Okay, who said this?
Maureen.
Maureen.
Well,
I have to say this before you go any further. I got to say this. What you just said needs to be written in part 3. In part 3 of the journal. You need to start documenting what's not working for you. That's where you start. And then as you start to do that and you start to answer the 4 qualifying questions, write it down, how that felt, what you realized, and what you're going to do to change it, the action you're going to take. Then the guidance will start to come through all the time. And when it does, start writing it in here. Next entry, date it, write it in here. How did it make you feel? What did you realize? And what action are you going to take? Keep the process going. You are going to clear up your life so fast. You guys aren't going to believe it. Do it every day. 15 minutes a day. Use Ask the Universal Channel to communicate with them. We've got Ask the Universal Channel secret group, Facebook secret group that you can join and work with the students that work together and or work with your journal. But you're not without resources. 15 minutes a day is all it's going to take.
Plus you've got 400 support videos for free on your website.
I know. It's tremendous, okay?
Okay.
And the live events we're doing right here in Phoenix, and we're live streaming them so anyone in the world could watch them.
Next one is going to be on the 5th of October.
Every month. Yeah, every month we're doing those now. Those are going over well.
Yeah, well, real well. Okay, Hannah's with us. Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
She's in the UK. You're late. My guys are so patient with me. I find my energy with them getting stronger every day. I'm learning something new every day. Wasn't Kimberly the one that had woke up in the middle of the night and there's faces?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that kind of ties in to Hannah's next comment. I'd love to get a photograph, capture a picture like you did of her guides.
Right here.
That's an interesting phenomenon.
I have to tell you, now who said that?
That was Hannah.
Hannah, I actually never thought about I never wanted or, pondered the thought of capturing their photograph. It never even occurred to me. I'd seen them since I was 20 months old. All right, when they first appeared to me, there they are, when they first appeared to me. And then in 1994, when they showed up at Christmas time right in the room, 7 feet tall, lighting up the whole room, still framing for me, okay? I could see right through, well, you can see right through the guide. I happened to have my Nikon camera in hand, film days, 94, and I took their photograph. Then I looked around the room and said, did you guys see that? Of course, nobody, see what? That ends the conversation right there. But I never thought about or, pondered the idea of capturing their photograph. It's just like, here's another thing. People will ask me, what's your spirit guide's name or names? I never ask them for their name. They tell me all the time that they they come, some go, and it depends on where I'm at, what I need. They always deliver exactly what I need at exactly the right time. Sometimes they're specialists. They're not my guides. They are brought in. My guides bring them in to help me with a project, with whatever I'm working on for something specific. Okay, the specialist will come in and help me and then leave, and my guides are back in the forefront. But they're the gatekeepers. My spirit guides, they guard the gate, and they take care of all that, what I'm ready for, that I need special help from somebody that they don't have the ability, as good ability to help me as a specialist that they know can come in and serve that purpose for that moment, okay, or that week, or whatever it happens to be, all right? So I never think about who's here, what's your name, because they move fast. They're like energy. They're intelligent energy that come in, come and go, come and go, come and go. Exactly what you need at the time, precise, all right?
And they're collective.
So I don't think about the photograph. I don't think about the names. I don't try to freeze frame them. But that happened in spite of me, okay? That's just what happened. And there I was with the camera, no accidents, captured their photograph. And after I got it developed, 2 weeks later, they come to me in a dream, and I was lucid, and I asked them, why did you let me take your photograph? Since I've seen you since I was a little girl. They said, you're going to write a best-selling book about your relationship with us since you were a little girl. And we appeared so the world could believe. That's their agenda, not mine. So what you want to do is you want to get out of the way of what the possibilities are, because if we jam them up with what we want, then we dull the moment, the present moment. And what comes through is kind of squeezing through, a sliver of us, of our ability to be open. Just be open. Don't think about it. Don't anticipate it. Don't want it. Just let it happen,
That's like the people that win the lottery. Everybody wants it, but some people are just open to it happening in their life, and they win.
Yeah, and those lottery winners aren't always winners.
No.
A lot of times they are handed a hell of a lesson, that they have to now experience, what it's like to have that kind of those kind of resources, and everybody grabbing and pulling on them and everything. It's hard. Okay.
All those relatives they never knew they had show up. Okay, Veronica has a question that we missed up top here.
Oh.
Veronica says, why does turning around when you're going the wrong way, feel difficult sometimes, like you owe others something when you really don't?
That is perfect, because when you're going down a one-way street the wrong way, that's exactly how you feel. You feel like Veronica just described it, okay? Like there's no pity on you.
Well, the first thing you think when you do that is, hey, there's people are going the wrong way, coming towards you.
No, I never thought that.
I did. Look at those people, they're going the wrong way.
No, if I ever did that, and I have done that a few times, I went, oh my God,
Yeah.
Okay, Ray, let's get that answer for Veronica right here from her spirit guide.
Right.
They're gonna answer that for all of us.
Okay.
Read that one more time.
Okay.
That was really well
written.
written.
Turning around. It's way up here. Why does turning around feel difficult sometimes? Okay?
It makes you feel like what? Finish the thought.
Like you owe somebody something.
Right.
And you don't.
Oh, I like you're going to let someone down. Yep, I get that. Okay, so let's let Veronica's guides answer that, and it's going to be an answer we all want. Okay, all right.
Most people have so much trouble turning around because of their level of investment in the direction they're going. They feel they have worked so hard, put in so much time and effort that they can't stop now and turn around and go some other way. This is what happens with most people. They are invested in an outcome that they had planned long before they even started driving that way. This one-way street was okay until they realized it was a one-way street and they were going the wrong way.
So I'm going to just make it real blunt and blatant. We get stubborn. We get stubborn. That's what happens. Or we get over-invested in what somebody's going to think about us, or what they're going to say. I mean, those people coming the other way when we're going the wrong way. What are they going to think about us? Do they think I'm crazy? Probably.
I'm just keep driving.
But you know, they've all done it, you guys, at one point or another. You just breathe. And in your life, when you realize that you're going the wrong way, but you've got so much invested in it, you know how you breathe? This is how you breathe. You go to part 3 and you document why you are having trouble.
Turning around.
Right. First stopping, and then turning it around. Now, when you go to turn around and go the other way, that's a new way. That's going to be maybe a little scary, okay, in the beginning. That's why, okay, I'm going to say this again. That's why you need to keep writing these entries into your journal 15 minutes a day. Because when you catch yourself in one of these dilemmas where it seems to be overpowering you, you've got the answer. You've got it. You've got it. You've been keeping your journal going. You've been seeing the progress, the setbacks. You've been seeing the challenges, the successes. You've been seeing all of it. Now that you can connect the dots and see the pattern that's going on, you got it. That will never feel like that again. Couldn't possibly happen. I promise you that. But you've got to do this 15 minutes a day. Okay? Write in here anything unusual or out of the ordinary that happens every day, no matter how insignificant, small, or whatever. Remember what those things are. I'm going to read them off to you again. They're in number 1 and number 2. Number 1, where did you get this guidance? That's going to be that unusual thing that happened or out of the ordinary. Was it a dream? That would be unusual or out of the ordinary. You don't have the same dream all the time. And where did it come from? That's unusual and out of the ordinary. When you were walking somewhere, all of a sudden, you got this awareness, this message came through. Unusual and out of the ordinary. Driving somewhere. It happens all the time. Boom, it comes right into your head. Now, you can't stop driving the moment it comes through because you can't write it down because you're driving. So what do? You say it out loud. You say the key words out loud 3 times. It's like Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
There we go.
All right. And then when you come to a stop and you can then write it in your journal, you say those words again, and boom, it comes right into your head, and write it down. Okay. You can then, you can answer how it felt, what you realized, and what you intend to do. But if you don't have time in the moment, at least write it down and how it came through. It came through when you were driving. Okay, check that box. Or in the shower, you're all wet. You get that guidance. It happens to me literally every single time I get in the shower. Every single time. What do? I say it out loud 3 times. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, whatever it is, those keywords that came through. And I get this out and I write it in there. And I click, I check on the box that says in the shower. Washing your hands. It's that conductiveness, that water, it sets
the
you off.
Emotional energy
Yeah,
flowing over you, nice and warm.
It brings it through. It's like putting your hands into an electrical socket. It's the energy connection. They are able to reach you in that moment. Or was it from a song you heard? You hadn't heard that song in 30 years. What's up with that? And that song fit what was going on in your life at the time. Write it down, all right? Unusual or out of the ordinary. From a person, a stranger, walks up to you, blah, 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 blah. You're going, holy cow, do you realize what you just said to me? Of course they don't. And you probably wouldn't say that to them. Click that, check that box and write down what that messenger, that agent, that your guides sent in to get your attention, okay? Daydreaming, daydreaming's also self-talk. You catch yourself walking along and all of a sudden you start talking. Well, there's no one around. Who the heck are you talking to? Reminds you of when you were a little kid. You know who you're talking to. So you click that box and then maybe underneath it you say self-talk. I was actually having a conversation, not telepathically, because when you're talking out loud, that's not telepathic, but you're connecting telepathically, okay? Or were you using Ask the Universal Channel when the information, or something other? Make sure that you check those boxes when you connect with that unusual and out of the ordinary, okay? And then write down what that is. And then later on that night, you may not have time to answer how it felt, what you realized, and blah, 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 but finish it when you get home, okay? This is going to keep you guys out of trouble. It's your lifeline to the connection. Go ahead, Ray.
That self-talk thing, if you find yourself walking down the street talking, mumbling to yourself, that's just an acknowledgement that there's somebody else there that you are talking to.
You've seen people do it, and people will go, actually, remember when Bluetooth came along and people were, they were talking, and you'd see them in the grocery store and you'd go, who are they talking to,
Well, yeah.
Right.
This is pre-Bluetooth,
Yeah.
This is the telepathic thing that you got going on, or you're talking to your higher self. You're talking to somebody, and that's automatically admitting that there's somebody else there.
You could actually take and put something right here in your ear and talk, and they would just think you're having a conversation over the phone. You don't have to explain a thing, all right? This technology is great, you guys.
Okay. Some more people have joined us. Vanessa's with us.
Vanessa.
Mary Jan.
Mary
Hi,
Jan.
Ray and Linda.
Mary Jan was with us live
She came
on Saturday.
From Michigan.
I know. Mary Jan, we loved having you. She was awesome. Oh my gosh. So we have, we only have one who was live with us. No.
Yeah.
Joy
was there. Joy's not here tonight.
Joy's not here tonight. Okay.
We got to meet Joy.
So happy to have you. So Mary Jan, what we're talking about tonight is being connected.
She's been with us. No, she's been with us.
Oh, she's been with us. Okay, good.
Anime says, my kids are all grown up. No, Anime, nobody's kids ever are grown up. We have kids all ages. None of them are grown up.
I know.
Okay.
But don't let, you've got your life back, Anime, so
right.
you need to just slow down, breathe, okay, and loosen up your body. Bring yourself back into the moment, okay, and let that come through. Okay, do some things for yourself, but what I want you to do, Anime, is slow down, okay? And if you just sit for 15 minutes with your My Guided Journey Part 3, Part 2, and Ask the Universal Channel, you just sit and you do nothing but sit there with maybe a glass of water. Phones are off. Nobody interrupts you in this 15 minutes. Just let it be and take your journal. And if nothing unusual or out of the ordinary showed up for you, just start writing about what you think and feel. Start with that. Because see, what's going to happen, you guys, as you write in your journal, I'm talking about Part 3, start purging this, start letting it show up on the pages. What's going to happen is you're going to start seeing where guidance starts to infiltrate your writing. You won't see this for maybe, I don't know how long, a week, a month. You're going to start seeing little pieces drop in where they slipped in a little part of their guidance that didn't look like something you would have written, okay? And that's how this two-way, being connected is a two-way street, begins, okay?
Okay, so Hannah says she has a 2-year-old who has lots of energy for sure, LOL. Well, you know, a baby comes in here, a new person comes in here, pure and powerful, and by the time they get about 2 years old, they're really hitting their stride about what they're learning, what they're experiencing. They're walking, they're moving, they're mobile, okay? And that's when if a parent sees the first signs of rebellion, you try to tell them what to do. And they're wondering, oh, well, why can't I do what I want to do?
Yeah.
So what happens at that point is society labels them as what? The terrible twos. There's nothing terrible about it.
Okay, so how's that tie in today?
How does that tie in? They're going their way. They decided, no. I mean,
well, they're on autopilot.
They are. They don't know any different.
They're here to explore and experience everything as fast as they can.
Right.
Okay. And so that's the dilemma of being a mom. Okay. Being a mom's a hard job. It takes everything you've got. And you know what? And still, in spite of that, Hannah, if you have relatives that can help you with your child to give you a break, you need a break. Because just being mom 24/7, 365, the kid needs a break from you. All right? That's a two-way street. Okay. If you just try to be there all the time, that's a one-way street trying to make that work. That doesn't work. That's out of balance. That doesn't give you time to breathe. It doesn't give the child a breather from you. This intense mom. And I can't blame you for it. We're all like that when we're moms. It's our job. We've got to make sure this kid's going to be okay, you know? It's a lot of responsibility.
Okay. Denise is here. Denise came in a little bit late.
Denise.
Hi, Denise, over in Australia. Kimberly says she was able to draw a sketch of the angels had visited her the other day. And she drew it in her journal when she wrote about that experience.
Perfect.
Well, we'd love to see that picture. Put it up on Facebook if you want to.
Yeah, we would love to see that.
That'd be great. Hannah says that makes sense about the 2-year-old, of course.
Yeah, you have to give yourself a break. And it's not about a guilt trip. All of us that have gone through it, have had kids, will tell you that guilt trip, your kids see right through it. And they'll work against you. That will work against you because these kids are smart. And when they see your vulnerability, they'll go right for it.
Yeah.
All right. That's not something that they will admire about you. So you have to take control and you have to back off. And when they see mommy again come home, they're going to be excited to see you. That's a good thing.
Yeah, those kids are just...
That's a two-way street. That's not a one-way street.
Right.
Anything we try to force you guys is a one-way street. Like the question Veronica had tonight. Why is it we have so much trouble with that? Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, Kimberly said, thanks, Veronica, for posting that question.
See, Kimberly
the
and
guide
I...
sure did explain that well.
And Kim, you and I were on the same track right there. Perfect timing.
Kimberly says she had an amazing experience today with a neighbor. She better go write it down in her journal. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. All these things that seem unusual or out of the ordinary, write them down because you didn't think them up.
What's interesting, you guys, when you start to do this, when you start to put those journal entries in part 3 about the things that happen that are unusual or out of the ordinary, you are going to find that they're happening all the time. You've been missing it all this time. Catch 1 or 2 a day, maybe. You're going to have 20 or more that show up in here. You're going to remember your dreams when you didn't used to remember them. You are going to be becoming conscious. That's what's going to be going on. Awake, alert, and connected.
Okay. Let's see who else joined us here. Jay Handy joined. Jay says, great work, Linda and Ray. Let's not forget Ray, the man with the most famous hands.
There you go, Ray. Well, you missed Ray in his full glory on Saturday, Jay.
Yeah.
You won't miss him next month, though.
Yeah.
When we have our next one.
Anyway, let's see here. Kimberly says, the hardest thing about seeing and speaking to the guides is not being able to tell the people in her everyday life about them. I feel I have nothing to talk about. I find myself thinking about my experience I've had with them and telling my family and friends in my head, but in reality I am quiet and sad.
Okay, come back, Ray. Your guides are gonna talk to you about this. My heart goes out to all of you who experience.
Be careful, that's the last one.
Who experience this, okay? Because I lived most of my life like that, all right? It's very sad to find yourself in a world where people are unconscious. That's really what it is. All right, we're going to have the guides talk about this, and it's painful. I get that. All of us get that get this.
As you evolve as yourself, it can be a shock to others. When you are older and following a spiritual, self-realized path, others do not want to hear about how well you are doing. In fact, they may resent you for telling them. They don't want you to change because they are unwilling or unable to do so themselves. Always keep your guidance to yourself. It's a relationship between you and your guides. And even when a child is 2 or 3, look for this milestone. The first time they cross their arms and stomp their foot and say, no, this is them coming out.
Right, the real them. Standing up for themselves. Not worried about what the people are going to think about them because they're new at this, being in this world. They're masters at where they came from. They're not shy about that. Okay, so Kimberly, this journal will be your lifeline for all of you who know that better than to, voice what's going on with you. When I was a kid and I was going through this, that's when I learned about this journaling. I started at 7 years old because I had all these phenomenal experiences, paranormal experiences going on for so long. At that point, they'd been going on my whole life, okay? And the only thing that my parents knew about was the merry-go-round dream. I brought the merry-go-round dream out because I couldn't understand. This followed me for 35 years before it finally stopped. It was my mission in this lifetime. Okay. And I came in, I made this pact with my guides before I came here. This was my mission in this life, is to see this through, help people step out of their fear and start believing in themselves and not being afraid to take risks and live the life they intended before they got here. I knew that that's what the message was. It was so clear, all right? But I had to live my life out, work through some of my stuff, it's all unguided. What I had to get through, my childhood boot camp for starters, and get through all that, figure this stuff out, really get solid with this whole thing. So I could communicate it to you in a way that you guys could connect with it, okay? In a real solid way. Go ahead.
Okay.
So there's a reason, I just want to finish this with Kimberly. Kimberly, there is a reason that you've been through some radical stuff in your life. There is a purpose for that. I'm going to tell you that your guides, your universe, this lifetime, you have a mission and a purpose just like me. You're just still working through building this relationship back up, having this connection again, and getting yourself back in one piece again, so you're solid and you know how to be present and you're comfortable with yourself in it, okay? And you don't need to go talk to everybody about it and share it with everybody. You're going to share it with everybody in a different way, just like I did. This is how it all started. I was 62 years old before I spilled the beans, all right? So
that's a long time to keep a secret.
I kept it to myself. I let it work in my life. I let it work. And people resented me. You make it look so easy, Linda. Who do you think you are? That was about as much as they could stand of me. To bring out the reason why would have been over the top. So, So just keep your journal going. Keep it going. And keep it going, okay? You're going to discover your gifts and your talents and your purpose by doing this. You're going to bump into it. Go ahead, Ray.
Okay. Francina Bing joined us. Hi, Francina, in New York.
Nice to have you.
Mary Jan said a couple things.
Good.
I particularly like the first one.
Okay.
It says, "You two are so awesome."
We are.
We tell each other that every day.
We love each other so much. It's amazing.
Okay, Mary Jan says,
but we didn't pick each other. Guidance sent this in. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
She just had a thought.
Yeah.
There's a woman that always shows up, seems to just pop up in her life when she's heading in a new direction.
Mm.
And she always tries, not knowing, to change my path. The night before my big 5-hour medical coding exam, she said, "Mary, I know you have your medical exam tomorrow, but you really should come to this art event tonight. You need to be around more artists."
Oh.
And what did they tell Mary on
at the
Saturday?
Event? Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Wow. So here you are, full go ahead, doing this medical thing, going to do this thing, and then you're getting, okay. So that was like what Veronica talked about tonight. You've got your mindset, everything, you've got yourself set. You're going this one way. This is what this is about tonight. That one way, and boom, it shows up at such an inconvenient time. Let's let them talk to her about this. This is great, Mary.
This is for everyone here tonight. The lady that always seems to just show up is one of your important angels. The word angel in Greek comes to mean messenger. Angels are messengers. Pay attention to the messengers that show up in your life more than once, or only once, and you never see them again. The person who talks to you in line at the coffee shop and says something that piques your interest, or tells you something that they couldn't have known about you and makes you think. And a little while later, you turn around and they're not there. They left. It's a strong sign that needs to be documented.
Okay, I'm going to take this one step further. You know, Mary, you are her guides. Mary wants to know how she should move forward with this at this time. This distress, where she's being pulled off what she thinks she should be doing, as opposed to what keeps coming up and pulling her the other way, the art show, the this and that. Exactly how should she manage this whole situation? She's going to medical school, right?
No, she's doing medical coding.
Medical coding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should she continue with that? Do you see her continuing with that? Medical coding?
Yes, but not as a long-term career. You will be subsidizing your time with an artistic endeavor that you love more than anything. We told you on Saturday that you have been discouraged too many times from taking a risk. We want you to know that you are young enough to take as many risks as you want and be able to bounce back from any that don't work.
Okay, so what they're telling you, translation, is continue with your medical coding because that's going to support you.
Right.
Okay, but don't look at it as a be-all, end-all. This is all you are, Mary, because it is not. This thing with your artistic endeavor, and I have a feeling that you have being artistic isn't just one thing. I think you've got many things that you're going to play in. They talk about risk. I don't really feel in my life. I think risk is overrated. I think it's overkill. I call it, experimenting. I call it, playing in the sandbox. Do it. Try it. Find time for it. Okay? And you're going to find your way. This is just a stepping stone to keep you, to support you while you're going through it. The medical coding type of work. All right. Go ahead, Rick.
Okay, Mary Jan says she ended up not going to the art thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but the point, that's nothing to worry about.
Right.
You have to get, what you need to make a living. I mean, that's really true. We are in both worlds, you guys. We're not just over here kind of just, airy-fairying around out here. I mean, this could get carried away if this is the only place you were. We are in this world. Okay. So we have to bring them together. You see me say that all the time. This is about bringing both worlds together and becoming one, not split off. Okay. It's being connected. And we're in this world, and it can feel mundane and kind of like Groundhog Day, right, Mary? Groundhog Day. But you got to make a living while you're in this. Okay. Then you can bring this back once you harness this and you've got this working real well. You put a lid on this and say, I'm going to give only so much of my time to this. I can make a living. I can get by, so I can pursue these other interests I have that call my heart.
Right. There you go. Yeah, you're always going to find people who.
It's okay. The point is the woman is making it clear to you not to miss it. Okay, while you're doing this, she just doesn't, guidance, your universe doesn't want you just to think that this is all there is, all right? But you don't have to jump out of, you got to finish this, you got to do this and see it through. But find some extra time around it so you can pursue this.
Okay, and Kimberly answers her. Thank you so much. 3 hearts. That's for us.
Thank you, you guys.
Yeah. Kimberly says to Anna Mae, who said, I find my guides are always talking and helping me, but not always easy to do what they tell me.
Now, who said this?
Anna Mae.
Anna Mae.
That's
okay.
the free will thing, Anna Mae.
It is. And you know what's going to happen? You say what she said again. Read it again.
I find my guides always talking and helping me, but it's not always easy for me to do what they suggest.
Okay. You can overcome that without having to work at it. The only thing you have to do is when you get the guidance is to write it into part 3. Write it down. And over the course of 1 month, you're going to start paying attention to it, not just writing it down, but you're going to start seeing in review. When you review it, you're going to go, oh, okay, I see how this is making sense in my life. Not out of context, but as it ties together. Now I've got some meat to work with that I can act on. What's going on with you, Anna Mae, is you're getting a little bite size here, something out of context here, a little piece over here, but you're not putting it together. That's why you can't act on it.
Yeah, the other thing, Anna Mae, is you find it hard to do what they tell you to do all the time. First of all, they don't tell you to do anything.
They're not. They're showing you. They're pointing you.
Right.
It's the same thing as when you first came in as a little child. It piqued your curiosity. That's guidance. Okay? That it's so subtle and natural, you guys. Write it down.
Right. And Kimberly says, cool, Mary. This is about the artist connection here. Welcome to the art world. I've just recently jumped into the water, and it's getting more and more comfortable every day. Don't be afraid. Join us, LOL. Yeah, Kimberly is a fabulous artist.
Now, does Mary have one of these?
Yes.
Mary Jan.
Yep.
You have Ask the Universal Channel.
The official one. She has one just like this.
Yes, she does. Is she in the group?
I believe she is.
Okay, if you are not in Ask the Universal Channel group, in the description, it'll explain how to do that, how to send us an email, and Ray will get you in.
Right.
If you are in the group, where have you been?
Yeah. There's so many resources in the group.
Kimberly is in the group. Veronica's in the group. Joy, the woman you sat next to, she's in Ask the Universal Channel secret group, Facebook group. You want to join in. Those guys have free lessons on Wednesdays, I think 4 p.m. Pacific time. You gotta fit that in, okay? You're gonna meet these girls, and they are amazing. You're going to feel like you belong. Oh, Kimberly's in the group.
Kimberly's in the group.
Yeah.
So
get into that group. Kimberly, encourage her.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see if we can wind up here.
Mary is amazing.
Mary Jane says, thank you so much. The more they do, Kimberly says to Anna Mae, the more you do what they're guiding you to do, the easier it gets. Life becomes easier, at least it has for me. Mary Jan says, smiley face with the little tears, a little big smiley.
You are not alone, Mary. You are not alone. You've made a connection here that's amazing. It's going to surprise you.
Thank you. Love you guys. Anna Mae, Mary Jan, I'm working on it. You're going to do great. You are doing great.
All right. I'm going to read what we're doing. We're going to close our session for tonight. The guides are going to do their closing message about being connected is a two-way street. But first, I'm going to announce a few things that are coming up. Tomorrow, Wednesday, you don't want to miss this, you guys. And for those of you guys who attended our live event on Saturday through the online stream, we had about 60 of you guys. Cool. Okay. I'm going to announce something that tomorrow night that the spirit guides are going to do. That one of you are going to be a winner for this. Okay. So tomorrow night is going to be September 11th, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Join me right here on my Facebook page, Linda Deir Author. And this will be about higher learning. This higher learning happened in the experimental stage of your life, a time when your desire to know was at an all-time high. You were open to everything. However, the demands of just being in this world were consistently interrupting your learning time, your play time, the bliss of following your relentless curiosities. Do you remember what this felt like? While you wondered about everything, you were also losing a grip on it. So bring your questions. Using my guided journey, your spirit guides and I are going to help you with this. We will also be picking the winner of the half-hour angel coaching session with Linda, $110 value, from last Saturday's live event in Phoenix, Arizona. For those of you who registered for the live streaming of this event, the spirit guides will be picking the winner. Don't miss it, you guys. That's going to be fun. Next Tuesday, right here on my Facebook page, Linda Deir Author, September 7th. This will be a Q&A and commentary just like tonight with me, Ray, and your spirit guides at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so don't miss it. In Linda's weekly guided insights, my spirit guides will be talking about when free will and guidance complement each other. When you first came here as a new person, you always heard our guidance. Although you had free will, at that early stage in your life, you never second-guessed the guidance. All it required from you was to follow all that was required from you to follow the guidance was to simply listen and follow your curiosity. Remember how easy that was? You didn't stop to think, was that guidance I just received? Or was that guidance the best thing for me? This issue started when you reached the age of reason. Okay, that's where you are now. So we're going to work on that next Tuesday. That's going to be next Tuesday, Linda's Weekly Guided Insights. And find out about remembering this is where you came from. You were still in your bliss, all right? And then came the reasoning, being in just this world. How much did that have an impact on you? How much did you adhere to that reasoning? Did it make you feel so important? Remember how sometimes that felt? You were the only kid in the class that knew that answer. You felt pretty good about yourself, okay? Did that become so dominant in your life that you just pushed this away? You said to yourself, well, that was just when I was a baby. That was just baby talk.
Grow up.
Mm-hmm. Grow up and pay attention. I'm not a baby anymore. Remember the kids saying that? That wasn't a good thing. All right. It's like Mary. Mary is taking this medical coding. That's this world. And Mary is also going to keep herself alive, okay, with her artistic abilities and pursue those and learn about those, okay, when she's got a grip on this and she's got herself positioned well and she can afford to do that. But she's not going to forget about this just because she's got to get this under control, okay? Because we are in both worlds right now, you guys, and we're here to master that. Being connected and in one piece. So now that's where our true power is, okay? That's what Kimberly's really getting. Okay, Ray, let's take these guys on our last little spin around the block here.
Last little ride in the wagon around the block.
And this is about the closing session about being connected is a two-way street. And here they go.
When you are connected, you have no doubts that what you are doing is the right thing. It feels natural and it flows effortlessly. It's not important what you are doing, but it is important why you are doing it. Always examine what you are doing and ask yourself, why am I doing it? Your answer must make your heart smile and your soul dance.
You know, when we did our event on Saturday, they talked about truth and love, the guides. And when you hear the truth, you know when it's the truth, when you feel the love from that truth, even if it's maybe something that you didn't want to hear or know, or something you didn't want to have to do. But when you hear the guidance, when you connect with that truth, it's always chased with love. They're one and the same, you guys. You know that they're looking out for your best interest. Okay? So it may not always be something that you wanted to deal with or hear or have to do or whatever. This is like Mary. Mary's taking this medical coding. It's not really what, doesn't it's make her heart sing. But the truth of the matter, and the guides talked to her about it tonight, is that she needs to get this. She's in this world. She's young. She's got this skill she's working to graduate from, so she can get, employed and provide for herself. So then Mary can pursue her heart's desire, this part of her that wants to explore that artistic side of her. Okay, it's free reign at that point. She's got this handled, So we've got to bring both together. We just can't be in one world or just be in the other. You've seen people do that all the time. Most people are just in this world.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a starving artist if you're connected.
That's right. You should not have to be starving. Starving artists are people that don't know how to market what they're doing, or they look at marketing their art as something that's not nice. Okay. Well, where did they come up with that?
They're stuck in this world. Just as bad as being stuck in that world over there.
Right.
If you're going to be an artist, you better be taking some business classes.
You better learn how to promote your art. People will say marketing, ew. Okay, let's call it something else. Let's call it what it really is. Promote. If people don't know your art's out there, then what will you be? What did you call that, Ray? Be a starving artist.
Starving artist.
Starving artist. That's how that term came about. So, you see a lot of musicians who are fabulous musicians, have no clue about how to market themselves, and they're starving musicians.
Yeah, but they all have a girlfriend.
Now, tell that joke, and then we're going to end this.
What do you call a musician that doesn't have a girlfriend and has a good job? Homeless.
It's not supposed to be like that, you guys, okay? We love you all. What a fantastic session we had.
It was great.
And we will see you tomorrow night. Okay, don't miss tomorrow night. The spirit guides, here, in fact, I'm going to show you the list. It's 2 pages long. Okay, right here. They're going to take this, and I'm going to lay it down, and they're going to spell out the name of the winner.
There you go.
Make sure you show up. These are for the people that attended the online live stream of the event
on
last
Saturday.
And
Right.
we're gonna have it again next month. So we're gonna offer it both ways, where you can come and join us personally, right there, physically, like Mary Jan did. It was so cool having you, Mary. What a delight she is. Everybody was awesome. Okay, Joy was there.
Well, you talk about guidance.
Right.
Why was Mary there? What happened that made her show
This
up?
is crazy. Okay, you tell her, Ray. This is the best. The best.
We have a
We
friend.
moved from Sedona about
Right.
3 years ago.
Right.
I lived there for 27 years. Go ahead.
And we have a good friend who lives up there, and we've always kept in touch with her, and she follows us and
Yeah.
keeps in touch with us. And she has an Airbnb up there. And Mary and a girlfriend were in town in Sedona and stayed there at the Airbnb. And
Sitting on the nightstand
right
in her room.
in her room was a copy of Guided. So was that guidance showing up? Just showing up. You didn't force it.
Right.
It showed up when it was supposed to show up.
You see, the point to this is you can't chase this stuff, you guys. You just have to do your heart's desire. Ray and I do this from our hearts, okay? I do this because I care about you guys. I know how this guidance works, and I know in every way that you're challenged by it, okay? But how you nail it, okay? And how you become whole from having this connection. And that's my heart's desire. Ray, he's right there with me. He gets this, okay? And we're in this together. And you know, that's what this is about. We do this from our hearts. And you know what? You guys tell your friends. The guides told us from the very beginning, it will be through word of mouth that you will become known around the world. Okay. Tell your friends about us. Tell them about this on Tuesdays. This is a great place for them to start, to see how loving, safe, and intelligent this is.
Right.
Okay.
Tell them to go visit lindadeir.com.
Yeah, start there.
The #1 website in the world, the most popular and most highly engaged website for any spiritual author or teacher.
I know. And it happened over 5 years. No, it didn't happen overnight. But if you're not chasing it and you're just doing really solid, good work, it will find you. That's the whole point to this. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Okay. You guys, we'll see you tomorrow night. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Right. Good night, everybody.
Love you all.